Okay. I didn't think I was actually going to do this, but I just a little while ago finished my Patreon only Wednesday live stream for magazine harvesting. And I thought, you know what? I have a few things, I have some stuff that I got in the mail and some things I got onto the venture and just random bits and bobs and things to talk about. So I thought, why not come on here and I can work on my die cuts. This pile is for the kit that comes out on Monday. I know it's Thursday and you're like, you're still cutting stuff? Yes, I am. I'm still cutting stuff. And that's some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. Let me just get over to YouTube. I'm trying to get there and see things the way you guys see things. Give me just a minute because I'm probably going to need to mute the volume as well. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. There we go. And it'll probably... Hi, Steph. How are you? Hope you're doing well. So off camera, I'm going to be cutting some die cuts because I need like 600 or 700 of them for what's going on. And I'm not there yet. I am way more than halfway done, but not quite down to the wire on this. And so these are some of the smaller ones that I'm including. I'm busy, but good, I always feel like I have 90 things happening all at once, but that's because I'm also a bit of a procrastinator. And so creating the Patreon and doing some of this new stuff is helping me schedule my time better, but still a work in progress. So some of what you won't be seeing me doing is I'm die cutting off camera while I'm talking. And then I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that's my stuff from the swap meet that came in, or the flea market that came in from Miss Tina over at Tina's Crafty Life, Tina Massey. Those are the items I got from her. And I was super excited to get those, She had some really cute things. And I love to see what other people make and all that kind of stuff. It's just very fun. Hey, Peggy, how are you? And so slowly I'll be cutting these while I'm talking to you because it's got to get done. But I thought, why not come on and, in between I'll talk about stuff that, I got and stuff I ventured. And I probably will start to process some of the images that I just pulled raw from the magazines. I haven't done anything with them other than rip out the pages where I wanted stuff on it. And I've got quite a hefty pile at this point. So, I always have 90 things going on, I feel like. Hey, Curly, how you doing? Hope you're having a good week. And hiss back at you. Hiss. I don't know if some of the new people in the room are familiar with our greeting. I know you've probably seen it, but neither one of us is huggers. So I think it started as a joke. We used to hiss at each other when we came in the room, and now it's just a standard greeting for us because we are non-huggers. Curly is our favorite resident grumpy old man, and I don't dig hugging. I'm not a huggy person. So that was the friendliest, most in-character greeting we could come up with, I think. Sometimes JD gets in on it and does inward ferret hisses. But it's worked for us, so we just keep going with it. I mean, come on, I saw Curly in person and we still haven't exchanged a hug. It was great to see you, but I'm not hugging you. And I think she felt the same way. let's see. Let me show my stuff from Tina. I'm just trying to get as many of these on one page as I can. I'm always trying to maximize the space on the when I'm doing the die cutting. I want to fit as many on each piece of paper as I can. I'm greedy like that. All right, let me cut this one out before I knock it off the paper and have to reposition all the dies. I hate doing that. And it's going to give me a pain. Come on, go through the, start rolling. There we go. You hug friends totally. Never feel obligated to hug me. I'm just not a hugger. All of us get there in our own way, right? Well, yeah, and that's fine if you're that way. I'm just saying that's why we hiss at each other. We recognize a mutual dislike of something similar, and that's our, hey, I kind of dig who you are greeting. There's nothing wrong with hugging. It's just not who I am, you know? I'm just not, I'm not built that way. So I'm not saying it's wrong to hug. I would never say that. Hugging, you know, there's scientific proof or evidence, you know, in studies and stuff. People need, you know, they need to be touched and hugged and receive affection. That it's necessary for proper socialization and good health and all that. I'm not saying that it's a terrible thing. I'm saying it's just not for me. You know, I have to know somebody a long time. Yep, that's it in a nutshell, what Curly said. So these are my Tina goodies. So I, of course, got my Lakota money. Who couldn't? And look at, I got my little thank you too. Look at his signature. Such a sweetie. But so he did these ones, the copies of the fake money. And I will use them in a project or make a journal page for them somewhere. But those are just cute as can be. And then these are the mixed media ones that Tina made, I think. Or maybe he made these too. I'm not sure. Anyway. However it goes, I got some colorful fake money. giant money. I have some in my box to die that I think Curly sent to me. And then I got this. She made this die cut clock. And then she colored it in. And wow, if that just isn't, like, look at the detail on that. That is awesome. So I went ahead and I got one of these. And there's some little die cut words in here. Don't be afraid, it's only Halloween. And then I think it says good witch, bad witch under here. So it's just a fun little, like, steampunk kind of Halloween clock. And then she made these little clusters. And so it's on she like punched some circles out of heavy cardstock or mixed media pieces, I think. And then she did this on a live stream, which I missed. So it must have been fun to watch. And every one of them's a little bit different. And some of them have some fabric. There's some little skull fabric under here. I just thought they were super cute. So I'm going to figure out something to do with those. How could you pass up something that fun and that, you know, it's kitschy cute. So that's part of my haul from, you know, it's the first thing really that's coming from the sale. I'm sure Laura must be just busy as can be. I haven't got my invoice from her yet, but I'm super excited to get it because I got some cute stuff from her too. And I also bought, I think I only bought one thing from Ray or maybe two. So I have things coming in from most of the other sellers. I think Curly's probably the only one I didn't buy from because I was out of the room for the part of the thing that I would have wanted something. And then I already have a whole pile of book corners, so none of that was quite up my alley for this particular sale. Okay, and then I was showing to on the stream earlier. I picked up this book with the magazines the other day when we were on Scaventure, Music for Moppets by Helen and Robert Pace. And it's just an old picture book for kids. I took the staples out and I was looking at it. It's from 1971, which is the year. It sold whatever it was. I'm not worried about it. There'll be other sales. There'll be lots of other sales. So this is from 1971. That's the year I was born. Yeah, I'm that old. I'm 49. I'll be 50 next year. And it does have a little bit of coloring in it. Like, how on camera are we? So I'm what I want to do is I want to make some glue book style books. The best example I can say of what I kind of have in mind is if you watch Never Hopeless by Elizabeth. She handmade these books. They're out of a Richard Scarry dictionary. She had like 2 volumes. And I am just in love with those books. They're every time she brings it out and she opens it up. So I'm trying to make something similar to that. And so I've been shopping around for different types of book pages and books to make my cover out of. And I came across this and I'm in love with it. It's so cute. Only a few of the pages have coloring on them. And this is not my normal, like, I do love creepy stuff, but sometimes I just like a little cute fun. And so look, this is just like a fun picture. And my thought was, you know, however big the book is, I know this is like really wide because it's a signature page, but I could put it in and I could have it fold over and then I would have like a fun size to work with. So yeah, so that was like, I think a really fun thing that I could do. But we were flipping through it while I was yammering away, and it's just fun, right? I love the style of it. It reminds me of my childhood, obviously, because it's the year I was born is when this was published. Oh, and there's Carla V. Hello, hello. Oh, thank you for... Oh, you know what? Sometimes people don't think of it, or maybe they don't want to. Not everybody's a thumbs up person. But I appreciate the thought. Thank you so much. So there's that. And then while we're talking, I'll start cutting up some of these, start processing some of this, if I can figure out what to do with my paper cutter. Oh, Amy, where'd you put your paper cutter this time? I swear to you, if my head wasn't attached, I would leave it somewhere. We could do better. Hey, I worked at Talbot's way back. And when something didn't fit right, that's what you're supposed to say, the old ladies. That's nice, but we can do better. Instead of saying you look like shit, that looks like shit on you. It's just a nice way of, which I thought was actually kind of very nice to find a good way to phrase. That doesn't look good on you. So we have 7 or 8 people in. So most of you know that the Burgundy paper was not quite going the way I wanted it to. And as it turns out, I was correct. The ephemera also, you know, all of the things that aren't regular plain paper also coming out mostly eggplant. At this point, I'm actually getting very little that's burgundy, and it's really edging more towards eggplant. You know, for a store that caters to older ladies, they really put a lot of work into it. You know, it's not 100% my style of clothing, but it's actually a very nice company. I enjoyed working for them. And they really do try to cater to, and they'll bring you things and they'll help you put outfits together. They're really good at that sort of thing. And that's never been my strong suit. So I learned a lot while I worked there. I actually worked in the back, in the stocking stuff. I worked in shipping and receiving, and I loved my work. It was awesome. So I wanted the words off here, but I also wanted these whales as well. And that's not going to work right there. I got to move it further down the page and then come back up. Really, it is, you know. But I would have never on my own come to such a tactful way to put, oh my God, that looks terrible on you. Because prior to, you know, Target, you know, most of my work experience was in hospitality. You don't have to tell people a hotel room doesn't look good on you, you know. It's a whole other ball of wax. So I really learned a lot working there, and I had a great time. Some of the nicest ladies you ever want to meet, I met there. It was a good experience. I'm not a big fan of retail, but it was a good thing. That's it. It just popped into my head when you said we could do better. I hadn't thought about that in a long time. It's been a hot few years since I worked there. I'm just going to trim this down a little bit by hand. But, oh, so where was I with the burgundy eggplant paper? Gosh, my brain will just wander away at will. So yeah, so it's mostly heading towards eggplant. So I'm changing the name from the color of the month from burgundy to burgundy eggplant mashup with the verbal declaration that it is, at this point, mostly eggplant. So if any of you are on the subscription, either through Patreon or on the PayPal subscription, and eggplant is not your jam, because I can't even guarantee that I could get you a whole pack of just eggplant or of just burgundy, because most of it is coming out with some burgundy on it, but the majority of it, you know, it's eggplant. I do not know what happened. And this is going to be the other half of the announcement. I've spent so much time trying to course correct on this that I'm a little behind in my dyeing and my ironing and stuff. So I'm going to do the pre-sale on Monday, but the kits are going out between Wednesday and Friday because I'm still going to have stuff coming out of the dye vets. I will have enough to show you some of everything. Like, you'll be able to view the whole kit and see what's in it and all that. But the full kit won't mail out until between Wednesday and Friday of that same week. Ooh, thunder. I love storms. I do. Laura V, it is not eggplant Parmesan. That would make it so cheesy and delicious. But I don't recommend chewing on the paper. It's, you know, good fiber probably, but, you know, I can't imagine, like, actually chewing on that. It can't be tasty. Even though it looks yummy. You know, we use the term yummy to talk about the paper. I don't recommend the chewing of the paper. I really don't. I cut some cardstock with this, and I made my new blade a little bit dull already. I have been using the heck out of this. I gotta admit it. So, so that's one thing, and then the other thing is that I'll have everything to show, but I want to let people know it's going to be mailed out a little bit later. So the invoices for anybody who's on auto bill or who has already said, hey, I want a pack, will go out over this weekend. You can pay whenever you want, within reason, of course. If you pay over the weekend, I won't, excuse me, I got like something stuck on my, I won't be, instead of cheese, you could put a cream. Well, there's tea dyed paper with everything. That kind of is creamy colored. We used to get dust storms all the time when I lived in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. I don't like to be out in them. Damn kid took it. I'm on live chat. I think I might be missing part of the conversation. Hold, please. So if you pay over the weekend, I won't be able to mail out on Monday like I normally would. Who took a scale? Did I miss something? Hold on. I missed some part of this conversation. Oh, we're stopping because Curly can. Well, maybe that. When you're a kid and you see something new, probably, depending on which kid, they're probably somewhere in your house weighing various things. How much does this toothpaste weigh? How much does 3 cornflakes weigh? That sort of thing. I'm telling you, when I got my quarter muncher for the first time, I rounded corners on all kinds of ridiculous stuff. I did. It's the truth. So I'm not saying don't pay me. I'm just saying know that you'll get your shipping notifications either through PayPal, because I know they auto send some. And then sometimes for newer customers who aren't familiar with, my practices, I always send them their confirmations as well. And for people that just request it because they want to, some people obsess like I do, where you want to follow the package every step of the way. Where is it now? Where is it? It's not that I don't trust anyone. I just obsess about things. It was the adult child. They always think they're helping, right? I did a good thing. I helped you. I don't know if I want to fussy cut that. I think I'm going to just put that aside in my images to ponder later thing. Okay, so got a couple of big birds. I think I'm just going to cut this whole one out. So let's start with the side I can. I'm going to have to fussy cut it out, even the branch, because of where that red spot is located on there. Because I don't want to cut off this part of the bird, so I'm just going to try and kind of fussy cut the whole thing. Or me, who wants to put Happy Mail on it. Yeah, there's that too. I will admit, when I first got my postal scale, we went around, hey, how much do you think 6 Hershey's, hit 6 mini Mr. Goodbars weigh? And then we would both make our guesses. I'm a dork. This was like, the first time we got a postal scale was when I was still married. Because I sold on eBay before Etsy was even a thing. I used to do some pagan things, and then I did, I made candles for a while. And then I was just a reseller of like clothes and stuff for a while. I've kind of done a bunch of things, but all of that was before Etsy was ever a thing. So I've probably had continuously, not the same postal scale, mind you, but a postal scale since, I want to say, how old is my oldest? Jessica was born in 1998. So a little bit before 1998-ish. No. Yeah. Because she was a baby when we got it. So around 1998. And we went and we weighed all kinds of ridiculous stuff. Because that's the kind of person I am. I tease Bima all the time for being a giant child, but let's face it, I am also a little bit of a giant child. I think some of that's because I was an only child. So I never really had to learn how to share. Sharing was not a thing in my world. So I'm a little bit self-centered on top of all of that. Right? Absolutely. I want to know exactly where my package is at. I like the Amazon Prime drivers that take a picture of your package and where they left it. One time I opened that up and I looked and I went, oh my God, that's not my porch. I was like, I know that's been misdelivered. That picture is not of my porch. I did it. I fussy cutted a bird. Oh, yeah, I can see that. Do you get like, I don't get that winter sad, like the seasonal affective disorder. I get it in the summer because I self-isolate because I'm not a person that does well with the heat. I just don't. This is like a foggy fishing picture. And I just like it. I think I want to figure out a way to put it in a personal journal or back it with something and maybe use it in a glue book. Because I've seen people do that too. So I'm going to save it. I don't normally go in for fishing, but it's very muted because it's foggy and I kind of dig it. I'm on a true confessions here. I failed kindergarten the first time because they felt I was not properly socialized enough. I was painfully shy as a child. I know here I am on YouTube yapping away at you, but this is so hard for me. You have no idea how hard it is every time that I decide to come online. It is a process. Yeah, I really like that picture. So, and then I had like a guitar magazine. And I need to do it from a different side first. It's got an actual straight edge on it. That I got that had some, it was from like 1990 and it had actual sheet music in it on regular paper instead of glossy. I get it in the summer because I don't go outside enough. I don't get enough vitamin D and stuff like that. Hey, JD, I was just talking about you. Not in a bad way, not in a bad way. So, I get it, Steph. It's different for everybody. I hope it was Carla Farrington. Uh-oh. Did you do the infamous send the wrong package to the wrong person, mix up the labels thing? You guys are funny. So I'm not a big fan of I like music, but like I was talking about it earlier. I don't, like I can say, ooh, I like this song on the radio, but unless I've been listening to it for a long time, I probably couldn't tell you who the artist was or the album or, some people can quote song lyrics and tell you the year the album came out and all this other stuff. I can't do that. It's just not how I think. But I know somebody likes guitar images, so I'm gonna, if you know who it is or you're that person and you want some guitar images, since I had Guitar Magazine, I did cut some out. And I'll just put those aside in the envelope in case somebody decides they really need some guitar images. I got you covered. Oh, those Carlas. But you gotta love it. You gotta love some Carlas. There are some awesome Carlas out there. I'm just saying. It's hard to go wrong with Carlas. So yes, so back to, I always get sidetracked and then I have to come back to the point I was originally talking about. Squirrel. So yeah, paper packs will be going out a little bit later than the beginning of the week, but they'll all be out by the end of the week. So I just wanted to give everybody some advice. Do you not love the expression on his face? Oh, I think Carla just kind of rolls with it. Let's start trimming here. You can probably trim this down just a little bit. I don't need all that extra stuff. So yeah. So that's what's going on with the burgundy. You're not really getting burgundy. Ha ha, joke's on you. I don't, it just didn't quite work out that way. But I like the color. I like the effects that I'm getting with it. I love the, I have an item that is so beyond awesome that I'm really, really want to show it to you, but I want to wait till Monday because, I like my surprises. But I didn't want to surprise you with like, hey, this isn't even the right color. It's now burgundy eggplant mashup. That's the color. I just love the expression on his or her face. After you did, you were like, was that the right Carla? Did I just flip off the right Carla or the wrong Carla? Carla Burrell probably is going, it was me. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I loved penguins for some reason. I'm not in love with the cold, but and if they're like the penguins from Madagascar, if they're like stupid bug-eyed penguins where they have that perpetually stupid look on their face, even better. I don't know what that says about me, but I do. It makes me happy. That's a really kind of gleeful, evil giggle right there, I think, Carla. I may be reading into it, but strikes me as a little evil. So do you guys have any questions about the paper pack or all the crazy shenanigans I've been up to? Oh my gosh. If you tell her why, she'll laugh. There you go. Okay, so I wanted a couple of these images, so let's start by just cutting the page off where let's start on this side of the world. Because I've been harvesting these magazines every week, and I've been so busy with all the paper coloring that I haven't had time to process any of them. So I just have all these magazine pages piling up. And I thought, since I wanted to come on and yak at you anyway, I know this isn't terribly exciting, but at least we can talk. I know Carla F, Carla V. There's Carla that's got a whole different name that isn't Carla, but she's Carla too. I think there are 3 or 4 Carlas. It's like when you get all the Tammys or the Tinas in the room too. And if you're having a sale and you've got all the Carlas, all the Tammys, all the Tinas, and then all the S name people, oh my gosh, how confusing is that? I have to be really careful to write everybody's name cleanly so that I don't wind up sending the wrong thing to the wrong person, because the names look similar when you write them out, because I have messy handwriting. And then I think I'm going to brave it. I'm going to cut out this little picture using my scissors. Nope, I'm going to have to do it over here by me. I can't even do that on camera for you. How lame is that? Just to be right in front of my face because I'm going blind like an old person. Janie! I know, I remember way back when I think I called you Carla. I thought you were Carla F for a while. I didn't realize there were multiple Carlas way back in the beginning. And then I think I might have made you mad because, I'm dense sometimes. I think I kept talking to you like you were Carla F, but you're not. You're a whole different person. All right. Really? So you haven't met many other Carlas in your life? There was always, at least when I was growing up, Amy was a reasonably popular name, at least for military families. Because there were always at least 2 other Amy's in my grade. And, you know, back in the day, the classrooms weren't that big. Plus, I went to school on military bases. So that looked kind of like, so there was like 3 different Amy's. So sometimes I don't even respond to my name. I'm like, they couldn't be talking about me or to me. Just saying. I mean, so I get like wound up about things. I don't necessarily get angry or anything, but I get wound up in chipmunk mode. Oh, everybody's done it at least one time, Curly. We all have done it. I did it right before I moved. I sent somebody's package to Christy Biddleston, and she was so nice about it because she knew I was under a lot of stress at that time. She like repackaged it and mailed it out and everything. It was such a sweet thing. I will never forget that. I really like Christy B, though. She's such a wonderful lady. It's rare to meet people that, you know, like, I don't know if we'd be friends in real life, but I respect, you know, her values and everything like that. Like, you never really know if you're going to, how you would jive with somebody in real life, but I love her to death, and she is one of my favorite online peoples ever. All right. I like the word opportunity. Let's take the word opportunity over here. I didn't quite come out. The Hags is my favorite Amy. Thanks. Probably don't let other Amy's hear you say that, because there's still a couple of them floating around here. We have the one who spells her name differently and pronounces it differently, but I read it as Amy, even though it's Ami or Ummy, however she does it. My brain reads that as Amy, even though I know it's the French and it's pronounced differently. My brain just goes there. Hi, Jen. Oh, you got a webcam. Nice. So what was I actually talking about? I keep getting off track. Long live your values. Okay. So yeah, so I will be on Monday for the paper thing, and I will show you all the goodies. I'm so excited. Invoices for anybody who's already requested the Burgundy pack will go out over the weekend. Generally speaking, I don't worry too much about them until the 3rd. And as always, even though I'm not going to be able to start mailing them until Wednesday, the sooner you pay, the sooner they go out, obviously. Patreon members don't need to worry about that because they paid at the beginning of the month. And theirs will always go out first because I receive their payments first. But I'm hoping you guys will love this because it didn't turn out the way I wanted to, but I actually am growing to really love the color. Oh, you realized you had somebody else. That's nice of you, though, to be gracious about it. That's what I love about our community. It's filled with people who, you know, genuinely care and do the right thing. Yes, that one, Laura V. That's the Ami or Ummy. I think it's Ummy. the wrong thing to people. Like occasionally a wrong paper pack goes out. Like they'll get the wrong quantity of paper, and I seem to unerringly send out more on accident. Like I'll read the number wrong because I don't have my glasses on like a dork. So I've sent out 50 packs for 25 packs. And, I don't make people send that back. It was my error. You get to keep all that paper. Because I think that's how I like to handle things. And I have made my share of mistakes. I've mixed up labels and sent the wrong thing to the wrong people. And that's always embarrassing to me. That's why now mostly I process one at a time when it comes to the labeling part and glue and put it down. That way there's no way to mix it up because you only have one at a time, right? It's a little more time consuming because I got to leave the room every time to go get the label, but far less error because I am a very flawed human being, And Laura number 2 is in the house. Oh, is that what we're calling Laura V now? She's Laura number 2. When she's the only Laura in the house, she can be Laura. We don't have to specify if she's the only one in the room. Then she can be the onlyest Laura out there. Not the loneliest, just the onlyest. That's crazy, Tina. Crazy, crazy. And welcome, by the way. I don't know if I said welcome to you. Nice to have you in the room. So, what else did I want to tell you? I'm excited about the glue book thing. I'm still gathering items. I'm not quite there yet. I saw Christy B did her first glue books. Oh, they are pretty. I saw a thing for her Etsy shop, and I went over and I Googled them. I stalked her on Etsy. I did. Went over to Etsy and I checked it out. I don't need to buy one since I'm making them, but they look like a lot of fun. I'm just saying. She's so talented. She does so many amazing things. Her dot mandalas are the bomb. They train their people better. I went there today to get something. They don't have it. Store came home, ordered online. Oh my gosh. So it was just, they didn't want to go look for it. I think Elle said she was in Michael's and she bought something and it was marked one price on the aisle, and she got up to the register and she was trying to get the cashier to honor the price, and he was like, we don't have anybody to go verify. Do you want it or not? Like, take it to the price it rang up at or get out of the store. Like, I think some people are just using COVID as a reason to be jackasses. That's not cool. Don't be a lazy ass. I know a lot of stores are short-handed, but still. If you don't have the time to go verify, then you give it to the person at the price that, I suppose she could have just told him, hold on a minute, and gone and taken a picture of the aisle with the stuff on it. But you shouldn't, oh, this is not working for me. All right, I'm going to try and hand cut a straight line. Oh, boy. Har, 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 har. I never get it straight. And then you wind up with like an image that's way smaller. Okay. It's just going to be crooked and I'm going to have to live with it. I don't think they do that because then when you look online, it tells you even what aisle and about where it is in the aisle. They tell you exactly where the stuff is in the store. Sometimes I think that it gets moved. Like someone brought it up to the register and then decided not to buy it. So it's sitting up front in their go back bin. Or somebody just set it down somewhere in the store and they find it when they want to, when they're like, you know, cleaning up and stuff, when they're zoning the store. It's not always the case. Or somebody just didn't want to go look for it, you know, however it works out. But sometimes they'll say it has stuff online, and then your order will get canceled by the store for the same reason they can't find it. You know. That happened to Els too. That's not really fair if you don't have signage out, where I asked them to cut this because I thought it was on sale. So she started asking them to verify that it's on sale before she has them cut it. Because that's a very sinking feeling if you think you're getting something for one price, especially if you're like me. I have a really tiny budget. If I go and I see something's on sale and I really need it, I'm going to buy extra if I have the money. And then to get up to the store or to the cash register and find out it's full price or it's on sale, but it's not on sale for as much as you thought you were going to get off because you had a coupon, that could be bad and embarrassing because they've cut the fabric now, right? Hi, Sandra. How are you? That's very frustrating to me, Tina, when stuff like that happens. It makes you not want to go in the store when you can't find what you want and you can't get anybody to help you and all that. I really find that extremely frustrating. I do. I sympathize with you 100%. It's pretty shitty. So I couldn't get that quite as cropped as I want. So when I use this image, I'll have to put something right there. But I love the image of the butterfly on the flower. That happened to me all the time when I worked at like Target and stuff. Especially if you're new to the job and you know, you just look at things and it's hard to remember where things are. Like you even have a thing where it'll tell you down to the peg it's on, and I still struggled in the beginning to find things in the store. Retail is not as easy as it looks some of the time. If you're not real familiar with the store layout and what the products look like for things you don't normally buy, it can be a bit of a struggle. And like, I don't have TV, so I don't even know like what from commercials, what some things look like. People be asking me for stuff and I'm like, I have never heard of that before, but it's on TV all the time. No TV. But somebody who's familiar with it will go, well, it's right here. And then you feel like an idiot because you're standing like 3 inches from it. And that's how I felt. That's crazy. That is crazy, Tina. I'm glad you guys got the one you wanted, though. Are you guys having fun with it? Have you started to figure it out a little bit? He was rude. I don't carry a phone around with me. Like, my budget is small enough right now that I let my phone shut off. But I let it go a little bit too long. So now I have to actually get a new SIM card and stuff. And I just haven't gotten around to it. Because I want to have my income at a level where I don't have to think about, well, I really need allergy medicine instead of a phone this month. Plus, eventually, one of these guys is going to make it past the underwear test, and I'll actually have to talk to him on the phone. So, so I'll need a phone coming up. I just have deliberately chosen not to spend my money on that. Els is nice enough to stand in line with me and let me use her coupons on her phone for stuff at stores. But I can tell that, you know, she's rolling her eyes at me and stuff like, really? Really? I'm not really a bird person, but those are very sweet. I gotta fussy cut him out. He's just too cute for words. I'm catching up. Oh, I guess I could do that. I want you can rest easy. I'm just gonna like roughly cut because I won't want means, but if I don't keep it all together, I won't remember why I originally wanted it. So I'm gonna fussy cut out this little cat here while we chat. He's cute. So what projects are you guys working? Are you working on any projects, or is real life kicking your tushy? What have you guys been doing? There he is in all his cuteness. Your excuse is the heat. You don't like small things. I got this just for the recipe. I love patty melts. This is a portobello patty melt, and it made my mouth water. Alice is allergic to mushrooms, so they're not normally in the house. So I'm just going to save that for me for later on. I'm going to start a recipe file for things I want to eat later on. This one I will fussy cut out later, but I like anything but basic. That's cool, Curly. I just got lucky this time. Everybody paid early. Usually, you know, it is what it is. I don't always have the money right away to pay right away. You know what I mean? Sometimes I got to wait a few days for money to transfer to my bank, or usually I email the seller if that's the case, like before I buy anything. But sometimes I don't think of it, and then I'm like, oh, I probably should have said. So, but in my experience, most people pay because they don't come in. I'm sure there's a few people that go around. Yes, I cut out a grilled cheese. It's true. I don't think most people go around going, I'm going to buy something and not pay for it. I don't think that's a thing that regularly happens. I mean, I know there's a few in every community, but on the whole, I've found people to be pretty honest. That's cool, Tina. I like it. I feel like on the regular, there's like one person, typically, and it's not the same person. It seems to happen like that there's usually one person who pays really, really late. And again, I'm not singling anybody out. It's just the way things fall out that I notice, like trends. There's either somebody who pays really late, or for whatever reason, it just doesn't work out. And, stuff happens, so I try not to stress about it too much. But I'm kind of in the boat that Bima's in. If you come in and you do that and you don't say anything to me, like I need to back out or something happened or, oh my gosh, I changed my mind. whatever it is, I'm not going to let you buy from me in the future because you already stiffed me once. So fool me once, shame on me, but don't fall for that stuff over and over again. Now the fussy cutting of the straps right here, I'll do that a little later because it takes a different size of scissors to do the little bitty fussy cutting. I like the umbrella, but I don't want the jacket inside there, so I think I'm not going to cut that one out. And I like this one for the background, like to use as a background image. And I think the same with this one, but we're just gonna rough cut around the whole thing so I can ink it and use it as part of a background. I like to use flowers as a background sometimes because it adds color without really taking away from the whole thing. Yeah, I just find, you know what, I don't really stress about it anymore. As a seller, I'm going to lament the loss of the income, of course, but I hope that the person is okay and everything is all right and that there's not genuinely something wrong in their life. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. It happens the way it happens. I'm not into high pressuring people into paying and stuff like that. I'm not going to hunt people down and shame them publicly. I don't think that's cool. Even if they're deliberately being a jackass about buying, I just don't think that's cool. Yeah, I'm in the same place. If you just tell me, you know, I'm probably gonna be on the inside a little bit hurt about losing the sale because, you know, we're there because we need the income. But realistically, I don't want anybody to buy anything that they can't afford. Like if something happens after, you know, you're in my sale or whatever, and you can't, or you just change your mind, you know, you got caught up in the moment. You know, like I said, I think it's human nature. My feelings will be hurt a little bit and I'll be like, I lost the money. But I want people to buy because they want to buy, not because they feel obligated. So if anything ever happens, you guys know, please just contact me. I'd rather hear from you and have the sale canceled and know that you're okay than just sit around wondering what happened. Because I genuinely do care about everybody in my community. I'm in it to make money. Sure, I'm a seller, but I also care. You know, I'm not just here for the money. Money's nice, but it can't, you know, it doesn't replace friendship or any of that other kind of stuff for sure. I'm happy I can do what I love, and you guys want to buy the end result off me. That makes me very happy. Exactly. You just don't know what's going on in their life. And sometimes people genuinely forget and they didn't send you their information, so you don't have a way to remind them. Hi, Mary. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Always happy to see you. And I think I've been lucky in that way. For the most part, I've had really good communication with people. But I also want to come off in all of my sales and all of my lives as approachable. I don't want somebody to feel like they're going to get shamed or yelled at if they come to me and, you know, they need to say something like, you know, I just can't follow through with this, or, you know what, I really thought about it and it's not going to work for me. I think that, you know, it's better than losing, you know, somebody who feels like they can't come back into your stream. And so they're trying to avoid you online when a simple conversation would have, you know, made it all better. And then, you know, then I would know people are okay too. I sit around worrying about people all the time, but I'm the kind of person that I feel like I'm intruding on you if I contact you. So I don't initiate contact a lot of the time. It's not my jam. I'll talk to you all day long if you want to talk, but oh, Tammy. I went on at the last minute. So that may be why. Like, I just decided to go online on the fly. And I didn't even think to like I didn't even put a notification on Facebook. I'm so sorry about that. I feel terrible. I don't want you to go away from YouTube. I love having you in the chats and stuff. You're awesome and you're fun to chat with. I don't think YouTube is singling you out though. I get notifications all the time and it's like 3 hours after somebody's been live. I'm like, well, that's not helpful. And I'll be showing up and they're getting offline. I'm like, what just happened? I just got the notification. What happened? Happens to me all the freaking time. YouTube can be such a pain in the tushy. But in YouTube's defense, in this case, I didn't post it on Facebook because I decided at the last minute. And I didn't have an event posted in advance. So those are things that could contribute to why it took this long for the notification to go out. Because if you don't already have an event set in there, it takes them like a half an hour to 45 minutes before they recognize that you've gone live a lot of the time, and then they post it. And I think stuff gets hung up in their server because sometimes during the day, I'll get 15 notifications at once, and some of it is hours old. Drives me bananas. So I think sometimes too things get hung up in their system. And I'll just be like, well, the universe obviously did not want me to go to that live. The universe wanted me to do some work. Sometimes I just check. Like when I know somebody's usually apt to go on, sometimes I'll just go to my homepage and see if it tells me if anybody's live. And sometimes that's how I find out. You're getting some lightning, Mary? Right, Steph? I hate it when companies do that. It's ridiculous. You wasted all your time and gas to go down there only to come home almost immediately. And you probably got paid for less than an hour on top of it. Yeah, I think, that's one of those things that it's difficult because if you're in a store and something happens, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, and you leave. But I think it's hard to just approach somebody, even online through email or chat. I've worried in the past myself, I'll realize, oh my God, like I have $2 not enough for this total in my bank account because I have a small income. And I have to go to somebody and go, oh my God, would you mind waiting 2 days while I wait for money to process through my Etsy shop to the I'm $2 short. And, I've never genuinely had anybody yell at me, but I felt like a couple of times it was like this, okay, that's not what they said to me, but in my mind, that's what the interaction felt like. But yeah, I genuinely, when I don't hear from people, I start to worry something happened to them. So I'd rather get bad news than hear nothing. You counted on the emails? Oh, are you kidding me? You know what? I can make a list of people that I notify on Facebook. I can just create a group for it. And all I'll do with that group is tell you I'm going live if you would like. I can, let me get my notebook because, my brain, that notebook is my brain. And I'll just make a page for that if you guys want. I'll make a small group and I can let you know when I'm going live. I don't mind at all. Let me just get over here. If that will work for some people, I'm happy to do it. Well, I guess I'm writing in pencil for right now. Or not email, but message. If you have Facebook, I can do it that way. when live list. Lolly, you'd like to be notified? Okay. So you'll get a message that you've been added to a group on Facebook. I'll do it after this live. And that way I can just message you whenever I'm going live. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. I'm like, I didn't get a freaking, even for Els, and she's in the same house as me. She'll be live in the other room and I won't realize it. And I'll be like, really? We're in the same house. Jen, you would like to be added? Okay. Are we quote unquote friends on Facebook? You're Jen Watts, right? I think you're in my group, so I should be able to find you that way. Right? That doesn't even, and your time, just your time going back and forth. Mary, definitely I will put you on the list. I know that we exchange messages sometimes on. Okay. Carla Burrell, you would like to be on that list? Okay. I don't want to add somebody to listen and find out we're not friends, and then I have to figure out who you are on Facebook. Because I am the worst hunter downer ever. Always managed to find the wrong person. All right, so if anybody comes in later, I have a list now, and I'll create the group. Carla, okay, got it. Okay, so, but yeah, I noticed that it's getting a lot of times the stream will be a third of the way through before I get a notification, and sometimes I get them right away. Like it's not even like I can say, oh, I should just check several times a day, or write it down somewhere that for the things I really care about. I seem to get regular messages for videos close to the time they go live, but for lives, I feel like that's not happening at all. I feel like it's crazy. Because all of the video people that I watch, like in the morning, the people that come on and when their videos go, I feel like, the minute that's finished processing, bing, I get a notification. Because it's around the same time every day. So, they have it scheduled for about the same time, which is fantastic. But I don't understand. I'm having trouble seeing this. Let me start cutting from this side. Nope. I'm having trouble seeing the darker side of this one. I'm going to cut all this extra paper off here. I want him for musical people. I know that it really sucks that, and then they didn't advertise it on top of that. So some people may not even know that that's happening. Like not everybody wants their phone to be binging with it. This is really hard to see where. Now I'm just guessing where his shoulder is. That's not right. All right, he's a little funky. I just don't know about this. His head seems really oddly proportioned. I'm just going to cut his head off. I'm putting a different head on him. Now he looks really weird. Now he's headless. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Okay, so have you opened it and touched the paper and stuff? I'm not being creepy. I have a question. I think you could spend all day bitching about YouTube and its many, many failings. But until they come up with something that works better, we're going to have to tough that stuff out. It's a shit show for sure, but right now it's about the only game in town. I'm not familiar with a lot. I know there are other things out there you can do. I know you can do it on Facebook, but I don't know how it works. And honestly, I just haven't bothered to find out. Like, that's probably bad of me because I know they have that thing Rooms now. So I could even do it there, and I'm sure that you would get But then, I have people that tell me, well, I'm not on Facebook. And I don't blame them. I'm not, like, smooshing anybody down for not having Facebook. Okay, so the brown paper with the sparkle. What do you think? I'm dying to get someone who's actually touched it, their opinion of the brown paper. How they like the sparkle. Is it too much? Is it not enough? Are you a sparkly person? Are you a non-sparkly person? Do you hate it? I want to know. Like, I'm like giving her the third degree. Tell me about the paper. Look at that angry kitty face. Is he not the height of awesomeness? Paper clips out of pom-poms. Well, I would have to learn it first before I could do it. Like, I'm just getting used to being live on here on a regular basis. I really don't want to go somewhere else. I'm like at a learning curve thing. Like, Els will try a lot of new things. I like things to say reasonably the same. I'm semi-change. I have semi-change aversion, I guess. I know things need to change on a regular basis. That's just how life works. But I don't go out and buy the new technology. I'm not not one of those people that feels like I need to own the latest phone first and all that. So I fall somewhere in the just before. I'm never getting rid of my flip phones. Probably about where I'm at with technology. I don't mind technology, but it changes so fast, and I want to know that something works right before I put my money into it. So there's that. They may not have been open per se, but you see it in your inbox and So you may not open that email, but you rely on seeing the message come through. Bling, so-and-so is live. So you might not necessarily open it, but you do use it. Opening it is, I get emails from some places. Like, I rarely open the paid invoice notices from like PayPal. But it lets me know somebody's paid, and I can see from the subject line and the first little blurb that they put up who it is most of the time. I don't open the email. That doesn't mean that I don't want to not get the email or that I'm not using it. I'm just not using it in the traditional way that they think it should be used. And that I have a problem because you're telling me, I have to use it a certain way. And, for me, that works. It lets me know I've got money, and it's a fast way, like in a live, if somebody says, hey, I just paid you, I can pop over there and look and go, yep, you sure did. And then I can mark it paid without having to open 8,000 messages, right? It's just a quick preview for me. Oh, yeah, they said that's why they did it. I think it's probably just a way to streamline it's one more thing they don't have to pay to have processed and taken up space and all that, But for them to just say categorically that not having it not opened is a reason not to have it is silly, because I know for sure that I don't always open the emails that I get, but like those PayPal ones, I get what I need without having to open it. Because most of what if somebody leaves me a message or something, that kind of stuff I usually look at on PayPal. And I'm just using that as an example. Okay, thank you. And just as a test for you, I never noticed that it rubbed off on anything. So let me know if you get like weird blingy things. You know, if it does rub off. I rubbed it on everything, black clothes. You know, well, not everything, but a lot of things. Just saying. All right, so. I just think it's interesting that a company would, you know, and I know I've seen other people do it. You judge information with an email just by the subject line or the first little bit that you can see to know what you need to do with an email. Yeah, I think it's about money. Black cat. So I want hip. I don't necessarily need the word historic. And I want the ampersand. So boo on them because they don't get it, man. I think this goes back to, though, I'm change avoidant too. Like, I want to be able to do things the way I'm used to doing them. And I think sometimes other people are that way too. And the companies are just like, we want to move forward, whether we want progress for progress sake sometimes. I think that's what it boils down to. If it saves us money and we can pimp it as progress, then they do. Okay. It got me an ampersand. Okay, that's good to know. So a little bit does come off, but it's not like now you're covered in glitter and it'll haunt you for the rest of your days. You'll be 96 and going, where did this glitter come from? At one time in 2020, crazy lady sent me some glittery paper. Haven't been able to shake it. Oh, we don't have a black kitty cat here, but I put it on black clothes and I shook it near Bima. Just saying. I like the torn look on this one, so I'm going to try and just tear it a little bit closer to the bicyclist head without ripping the bicyclist head off. And then just trim this down a little bit. Oh, this one's getting out of control, man. And then we can trim that down a little bit. We don't need quite all of that. There. I hate it when you get used to something and then they do an update and you got to relearn. Hi, Dorinda. How are you? And so you've learned how it works, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's an update. It works nothing like what you just learned. I'm like, that is not awesome. Not at all. You're like, I finally got it. I did something. I learned a new thing. And then they're like, Right? Right, Carla? And that way, I think I am a grumpy old man. Like, really? Did you really just do that? How could you betray me like that? My own phone or my own whatever, you know. Windows updates are notorious for that for me. I'm like, I just learned how to use something. I finally just quit using Edge altogether. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to use Chrome from now on. Permanently. You are not fooling me. I'm going to try and relearn how to use Edge. Plus, I don't like it anyway. Oh, you're here for me to put you to sleep with my voice. That's cool. I put on people sometimes, like if I like their voice and I find it soothing when I can't sleep, because apparently one of the things that will help me go to sleep is if I hear a calm, like it doesn't have to be like talking about things that make me want to go to sleep, but if the voice is calm, then my brain starts to relax, and it kind of disengages a little bit from all the noise that goes on in my head, you know, and that helps me go to sleep. So I kind of get it. Kind of gets it. Ooh, she's got a little curly Q hanging off her hair that's going to be hard to do. I'm going to have to fussy cut out the other side of it with smaller scissors. Smaller scissors. I'm not even going to try and do that. I'm going to trim right around the edge of there and have no overhang. I think you get the point. I had to have that lady in her cactus suit. I think it's awesome. I'll have to pry my chrome from my cold dead fingers, right? I'm a little bit familiar with, what's the other one? Hold on, I've got it on. Sometimes I have two screens open. I use Firefox a little bit, but Chrome for me is the easiest to use. And so I really like it, which means probably it's going to die a horrible death, and then I'll have to learn something all new. Yeah, some people just do that. Gail's voice isn't soothing to me for whatever reason, but there are a couple people where I'm like, yep, I could listen to that all day long. It's just very relaxing. It's because they're calm people, I think. Overall, like I for whatever reason, I'm not saying I fall asleep on a normal basis, but there's a certain, I don't know how to put it, where like it relaxes me to the point where my brain stops going blah 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 in my head. Right. I find Chrome to be the easiest for my skill level, you know. And then I found this lighthouse picture. It's like a candy cane swirled one, so I had to have it. Let's see. I've been there too. I don't remember watching this video. None of this seems familiar to me. And then I think like that Chrome is lying to me, but then I remember I probably put that on when I was trying to go to sleep. Or I thought, hey, I'll be able to finish this one before I fall asleep, which is an infamous thought because it never works out that way. Never. Did you show what you've got? Oh, no. I did earlier in my Patreon only. Give me a second to... I like this. I just want to trim off this one other side. Always seek your... It says inner and outer. So, you know. I kind of like it, so I'm going to keep it. But yeah, I got just a couple of things. Let's see. And then I put all my magazine images right on top of that. So one of these, I didn't even know it was a thing. And the minute I saw it in the store, I had to have it. Like, I didn't know you could get this. And Els goes, oh my God, those have been out forever. And I'm like, well, maybe for you. So Els brought home let me find a safe place to put my scissors before I hurt myself. She brought home this paper pad and showed it to me yesterday. And I had a little like mini baby tiny temper tantrum. Like, you went to the store without me and you found the most awesome paper pad. I go to bed at court TV. I probably have crime scene, like, some kind of weird dreams about that. I've done that. I put on watch later videos, but I avoid the ones where the people's voice isn't relaxing to me. And for whatever reason, I like Gail A. I think she has great content, but her voice is not soothing to me. So she showed it to me and I flipped through it last night and I'm like, oh my God, I need this. Will you please, 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 please take me to the store? And she's like, all right, fine. You're starting to feel sad. Don't feel sad. Okay. So let me pop this open so I can actually flip through on this. Instead of the half flip I was doing earlier, because I was too lazy to cut it open. Who's a lazy bitch? It's me. Not every piece of paper in here I love, but I loved enough of it that I'm like, oh, I got to use some of that. They were doing like 60% off, and they had last year's pad too, so I'll show that in a second. Alice was like, I'm over it. That's last year's pad. I'm like, I've never seen this pad. I want it. I looked at tonight. It wasn't a thing. Oh, I hear my own voice, well, like when Els is watching my videos and I walk into the other room and I can hear myself. I'm like, oh my God. I hate my own voice. Okay, I really like this paper. Can you see enough of it? Like, do I need to try and... I don't want to move my camera, but... Oh, too many mushrooms for you? I like mushrooms. Creepy, creepy mushrooms. See, I like all these little mushrooms and stuff. I think they're cute and fun. I'm not super big on cut-aparts, but I kind of like the size of these. I love this page. I love it. Skeleton hands. She was already cutting hers apart for use in her journal, and I was like, really? Yeah, this is a lot of mushrooms, but you know what? I don't like the big page, but I think when it's cut down, this will make a nice layering piece. I'm so happy. And I got it on sale, which I almost, oh, and this one I love. First of all, I love this green color. You're breaking up, old shy. Hey, you know what? Those pastel things that they're selling, like the, who is it? Oh, I can never think of the name of it. But those like pan pastel palettes that they're essentially the same. They're the same ingredients as some of the minerals makeups, the eyeshadows and stuff. Els is allergic to mushrooms, and I absolutely love mushrooms. And look at the skeleton fingers, but there's more. This is very mushroom heavy, but that's something that I kind of like. I kind of dig that foresty, evil mushroom thing, but I get it's not for everybody. But I like the wheat and the moon. I'm really feeling fall now, you know. And there's a page towards the back that this green modeled look on here is on a page all by itself, and I'm in love with that one. And there's more. It is mushroom. A lot of the stuff is mushrooms. But again, with this one, I think once it's cut down to a smaller size to use, it'll be even more fun. Some things are overwhelming when they're big. And I find a lot of the times if I don't like the 12 by 12 pad often, but it has elements that I like, that I'll love the 6 by 6 pad. So sometimes I'll seek it out in a different format to see if I like that sizing better. I'm so over summer. This is a nice one with a blank spot in the middle. That could be like a journal cover or something. More mushrooms. There they are. Just had mushroom ravioli. That sounds delicious, Carla. And then I really like this one. This in the corner here. Ooh. And it's got the little stars. I'll definitely be using that one. And it's got a very, I don't know if it's coming out. Yeah, I can see it. Very mottled, kind of purpley thing going on over here that I like. You're so over 2020. I'm specifically over summer 2020. Pretty much, if we could just have like, ooh, I didn't see this one. I love that. I think if we could just have like Halloween from now until the end of the year, I'd be fine. Or we could just celebrate Christmas. Yes, this I just got this, and I think this is new for this year, 2020. It's called The Green Witch, and it's by Recollections. It's in Michael's right now. They're having, I don't know how long it's going on, but they're having a 60% off sale. They still had 5 or 6 of these pads when we were in there, but Els was in there yesterday, and they had over 10. So they'd already sold down quite a bit. I'm glad that she took me today because I'm super happy. But if you're looking for it, it's The Green Witch Recollections. And my understanding is that's this year's hot buy pad from Michael's. Yeah, this is very smoky, and this is the kind of thing I like. It's grungy, and it's got nice color. I like it. You don't go to Michael's, it's too far away. Bummer. We live in Lost Wages, so there's several here. But there's one right near the house. And I like this. But again, mushrooms. There's mushrooms everywhere. And then I'm never sure what you're supposed to do with these pages. Are you supposed to cut these apart and use them as borders or pockets? Like, what are you actually supposed to do with this? Does anybody know? Ooh, that's quite a hoof, Jen. That is quite a hoof. Yes, that's what it is, Mary. Thank you. It's good movement with the color. You are correct. Ding, ding, ding. Mary gets all the points. But so I guess my inclination would be to use it for pockets or something. I've never understood this page in most of them. Carla, that's helpful. Whatever you want. And then there's, I love spider webs, so this page suits me. More skeleton hands. Here's the green of that paper with the movement, like Mary says. I'm not a fan of 2020's events thus far, let's just say. But some good things have come out of 2020. I mean, it hasn't been all suck. But I feel like the moments of absolute and utter joy have been very tiny. There's just been a lot of negativity this year, and it's hard to, all of the quarantining and stuff. I think it's just hard for a lot of people. So we're reaching the end of the pad. Here's some more cut parts, which I actually like the cutter parts in this one. I like this tag. A lot of times the cutter parts just don't speak to me. On this one, I think I like them. Border on the edge of the journal or a pocket. So yeah, I might be inclined to like something like this. I might cut out and put on a cover and then layer it with other things. Maybe, I don't know. Some of them I look at it and I struggle. I'm like, what am I actually supposed to do with that? Okay, so then I also got this one, which Elle says is last year's pad, but what do I know from Adam? Let me cut it open so I can actually, because I only got the sneaky peeky of the, okay, that's fine, but let's see if we can peel off the back part of this. Alice didn't want to give me the green thingy, the knifey thing, because she said, you're going to cut yourself with that. And I did poke myself a couple of times, but I have not cut myself yet. Knock on this fake wood. And there's been a lot of kind of disastery things this year in terms of natural phenomena like weather and stuff. And you know, then there was the bombing in Beirut, and it's been a kind of a shit show this year. Let's be honest. This reminds me of geodes a little bit, or marbling maybe. That's interesting. There's only one of those. Only one. So this is a little, some of it's a little more basic, I guess, to me. But I like this effect. That's kind of nice. I think this one has a lot of skulls in it. No mushrooms here. Here's that page. Now this one looks more like borders to me, like the various sizes. Do you know I have trouble cutting straight, so long strips like this, and you can't always get it matched up right. There is magic in the night. Okay. I'm reading it sideways, so. Only one, man. Only one of that one. Little coffins with crosses on them. And this is another type of page I kind of struggle with. What the heck do you do with that? I guess you fold it over and make a cover out of it. I don't know. Maybe it's meant for a scrapbooking layout. Spiders. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Now, I like these cut aparts too. So, it's kind of fun. Not all of them, but I like most of them. And 2 pages of that. Oh, tiny skulls. I think I've seen pages similar to this in a couple of different books. I like the tiny skulls. Ooh, tiny skulls with like a deco-y thing. Working and lurking. That's been all day for you, hon. You work hard. Glad we can keep you entertained. Oh, look at that nice, like a gray ombre. It goes from light to dark all the way up the page. And then there's some more blingy spider stuff. Not enough bats, man. We need more bats. And where are the ghosts? Oh, another spider web. It's a little more stylized. You're almost done? Well, you've been working all day. I should hope so. You need a little rest in life, too. Phases of the moon. I know, it's very blingy. And there's a marbly one. See, this is the one I looked at that made me think of the Martha Stewart pad that I have. Martha Stewart had some paper that was similar to this in last year's paper pad that she put out. I always like kind of this stripy paper. It's very masculine, but it's also a good neutral. You be on your second break right now? Oh, there's some bats. We found bats. Yay, bats. That's more cut aparts. Eat, drink, and be scary. Can do. Pumpkins. Shiny, shiny pumpkins. Oh, there's like a starry thing going on there. And that's the end of that one. So now I have a little bit more paper to work with. So that I need to take out some of the sheets that I like and spray the back with some coffee. No, there were 2 of the marble. I think maybe somebody pulled out one. I think there's supposed to be 2 of everything, and I didn't check the pad before It was sealed, though, so maybe there is only one of that top sheet. That's a little weird, but, you know, it is what it is. So where's the other thing? We're done. Okay. Oh. So we were over there by the distress stuff from Ranger, and I saw this, which is their colors in archival ink, and I was like, ah! My brain exploded, and I was like, ooh! And then I had to get it. It was like $10 or $11, something like that. Between $9 and $11. Let's just go there. And so it's got the soot black, the ground espresso, hickory smoke, and vintage photo. I'm with Els on the vintage photo thing. I think it's, you know, everybody uses that. But the ground espresso is one of my favorites. I've always liked the soot black, and I've always wanted to try the hickory smoke, So when I saw it in archival, I was like, I need that in my life. And so I bought it because I probably could have spent the money on something a little more important, but I had already paid my rent. So I was like, I'm going to get it. And that's the story of how Amy shops. So that was what I got today. Plus the digitals. I have the same digitals that she had. I paid for one set to get printed up. I want to do an anatomy thing, and I'm working on those like tomorrow for my hanging in the hollow. I'm going to try and have some of these cut out. I've got to finish those die cuts first, so I may be cutting these on camera. I don't know. It could be boring again tomorrow night. So these are for like the one I'm making. And some of them are just, to have to use for various Halloween things. I don't have a project in mind. But she had some of these like this is not necessarily anatomy, but she does have some pages out of an old anatomy book that she got off of one of those copyright-free image websites, the archival things. And I want to, these are like from an archive as well, where they're copyright-free images. But she's got some of these, and I really want to do an anatomy type journal. I'm probably not anywhere near in the range that Sharon O is thinking about, because my mind goes to a very dark place. But I'm going to see if maybe I can get her to resize some of these for me and get them printed up. Of course, I'll pay for the printing, but she's good at manipulating images, and I'm not so good at it. So there's a couple of pages where I'd like to have those anatomy things just a wee bit bigger than they are. And, I always like this kind of stuff is just fun. I don't necessarily think of it as scary, but you have it in your cart. Yeah, I'm with Steph. I do that all the time. So some of it's just for fun to have to like pull for various projects. And some of it was like, I need that for a journal project that I'm working on, or I have an idea where that would fit in perfectly. So hopefully I can get her to sometime next week resize those for me so we can get them printed. Because I actually have if you ever just at some point you see something and it clicks and you have a whole project in your head, I have that in my head. So, and eventually it will go away if I don't act on it. Just saying. Short attention span theater over here. All right, let me get my scissors back. So yeah, that's what I got. I actually went and peopled at Michael's, which I'm not a good peopler, but I do my best. My default isn't rude. It's just it's hard for me to people. I really have to concentrate to people well. Because what I really want to do is hide my house. I'm really good at that. What? Outside? What are you talking about? Yeah, so I think over the next few evenings, and I got to work out when, because I go live at some point all of these evenings. I want to start going for a walk. There's a little walking trail up just around the corner from us. It's a little loopy. I think I can get in 1 or 2 loops without totally straining myself. So I thought you should do that. You should get up off your butt and go walk. Because I was talking about, since I've been here, because I've been more sedentary than I've been in a number of years. I put on about 30 pounds-ish. And I'd like to, you reach a certain age where how much you weigh starts affecting how hard it is for you to stand up out of a chair, or how your knees feel and stuff like that. And I've always had a problem with my right knee because I fell on it a lot when I was younger. And so I'd like to get down to about 165 just for health reasons, because I think I would feel a lot healthier. And so I think I need to just get up and get moving. Oh, at the thrift store? That was a couple of days ago. I got some books and stuff. Let me see. I did not go out with Els yesterday, so wherever she went, I did not participate in that. Let me set this aside for a second, because what I bought was some books. I was talking about the glue books earlier. Were you in here for that, where I said I wanted to make some glue books for myself and for the store? Like, I'm very taken with the idea of glue books right now, specifically, or creative daily journals. So I'm grabbing a pile of books. Let's see. If you watch Never Hopeless by Elizabeth, I feel like I keep saying this. I'm trying to think. I got a few other things while we were out. I got quite a few things from the Dollar Tree. I'm trying to think of where I put it, because right now everything in here is kind of a jumble. When I'm working on the paper packs, I just kind of stack things up. Hence the Craft-A-Lanch. So this is the size book that I think I want to make. You know, she had a Richard Scarry dictionary, which I know the approximate size of that because I've seen them. This is a bit smaller. I have trouble with smaller books. Like, I like a certain size for writing in, and whatever I'm journaling in, I need enough space to do it. Like, I struggle if it's a littler book. So but I like the size of this book, and that means that I can also use some of the pages because they're in signatures. And how fun is that? Like, this is science activities from A to Z. So I'll take it out in signatures, and some of it will get tea dyed, and some of it will get used for the. So you'll probably see this in some sort of paper pack, the remainder of it, at some point. Or I might do some smoosh papering on it, you know, stuff like that. If I had a jelly plate, I would jelly plate on it. Jelly plate right now is the holy grail for me. It's one of the things I really want. Let me see. What size is this? Sorry. I also need to clean my desk off. This is 11 by, I won't measure from the spine. I'll measure from right here. It's about 7 3/4. So if it was a little bit wider and a little bit taller, I'd be okay with that too. But I got both of these, and they're roughly the same size. Like this, the bottom one's just a smidge wider. So this is actually, you know, like just this little bit makes a little bit of a difference to me. So I thought I would use these covers. And they're from the same person. They're from Laverne Munding. I can't do it. They were the same owner, and it's the same kind of nice thick paper. So I'll use some of that along with other things that I've been collecting, like that book I showed earlier with the alphabets, the music, and the kids' pictures from the 70s. So this will be what I start with for the base, and I still need. I think I want. She makes one book covers 2 months. So that means you would need 6 books for a year. And right now I've only got 2 of this size. So this is the size cover I want. And if I can find them in a variety of subjects, then that's that much more paper. But so far I have 2, so I can get started on that. But I also, like I said, I'd love to make some to sell in my shop, because it seems I get taken by an idea and I'll make a lot of something. This is Dean Koontz writes horror books. I don't know if you're familiar with them. So this is Santa's twin, and don't you just love the expression on his face? And like, I'm totally making a little Christmas book out of this, like a little Christmas journal, because most of the pictures are sweet and stuff, but there's one in here that's like that picture of him with the evil face. Like, look at that. This is the kind of Christmas I can get behind him. I like the idea of kind of a creepy Christmas journal, but this is like a kitschy, creepy Christmas, I guess. Yeah. So I thought I'd start there, and I have some other little Christmas books and stuff, and by then I should have the kind of paper that I want to put in it. So With me, everything goes in. I have to do it in small steps because I have to budget for the business and then for things I want to experiment with privately for myself before I put it out as a product for my store. Like, you want to work out all the kinks before you. And then I got this one partially for some of the pictures for collage. Like, there's some really great stuff in here for collage. Let me see if I can find it. There's some of these sci-fi pictures. Like, would this not be amazingly fun to use in collages? I think those would be a lot of fun, even though they're glossy. And so, if I can get, I don't know if I can get this one apart in signatures. If I can, I will use a few of these as pages in the other book where I can trim them down a little bit and maybe have some ones that fold in like this for extra journaling and stuff. But I have some pretty fun, what I think are pretty fun ideas. And so it's like a little experiment. I'm going to refresh this because I think I'm frozen on my own screen. But yeah, I couldn't resist this one because it had some really fun stuff that I thought would either make a good background or would just be a fun image to use like in a journal or in a collage. Because several of them had like science fiction-y type stuff like that. And I was like, that's fun. And I don't think I paid more than $3 for any book. I had pretty good luck. Sometimes I go in and I don't find a darn thing. But I had pretty good luck this time. So there's that. And then I don't know where I put all the other stuff that I got. I wrapped it in a bag and I set it somewhere, you know, quote unquote safe. Yeah, it was the first time I ever out scaventured Bima in terms of the amount of stuff achieved. One, I typically don't have the money to spend, but I managed to find some really good deals, which, you don't always find good deals. Sometimes you go in and you see stuff you like, but it's out of your price range or whatever. So I was very pleased to be able to find something that worked for me. So I'm just going to wrap up here a little bit, and then we'll be heading out for the night because I've been on for a hot minute. And I know probably it's very late for some of you. I have to start filming my own little videos when I get home with something. I'm bad about not following through with videoing my happy mails and stuff. I put it aside. I think, oh, I should do blah 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 blah, and then I get sidetracked because I have a squirrel brain, and my squirrel is on crack. I think the chat room. Good night, Laura. It was lovely having you hang out. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, Carla. So I did. They were a fun size, and sometimes it's just the luck of the trip. Usually we get home and I have 2 things, and Els has an entire wagon full. And that is the honest truth. She is an amazing scaventress. She has a good eye. Like, I have to look at stuff for a long time before it hits me. But I like looking at the books and the magazines. Oh, I did. I got the magazines that I'm fussy, like I'm cutting down. Those came from the Scaventure. I got this one, and I think it was owls and garden and something about gardening and owls. So it was these flowers and bird pictures. That guitar magazine, which was from 1990. It was from November 1990. It had stuff about Slayer and all kind of Black Sabbath bands I haven't thought about in a long time. But I wanted the music pages that came out of it. That's why I could dye them, because that's how I am. Always looking for fun stuff to dye. I'm on the hunt now for small things, like different kinds of what do I want to say here? Different kinds of like flashcards, but odd sizes and stuff. Things I can put in my little goodie bags that go with the orders. Because I feel like I've been using kind of the same stuff for a while. And I like to mix it up. I like to have a variety of things I can draw from. So I've been keeping my eye out for stuff like that. Because it's fun to get little, just different things that you don't see every day. And I like to keep the goodie bags to smaller items. Because a lot of the time the kits weigh almost a pound as it is, all by themselves. So my goal is kind of to keep it under a pound so I can send it first class. Otherwise, then the shipping is $7.15. And that's okay. But I do try to keep it under a pound if I can. I was on something tonight and I did. Oh, were you smoking the crack right before that video? So he's a fun. I'm going to trim this down just a little bit more, right shy of his tail. I want mostly the owl, not necessarily all the other stuff right there. Owls, so much fun. Too much sugar? Do you eat a lot of sugar? Do you have a lot of caffeine? Caffeine will sometimes do that to me if I have a lot of it. I'll be like on the crack. Like it'll be obvious I've had coffee or sugar or something. Because I'm not, or B12, because I'm not normally that spazzy. I have my moments though, I'll tell you what. You can tell when I've had my B12, like this super big B12, because I talk really fast. I get a little more chipmunky, I guess. Then I'm the squirrel on crack. Because B12 does that, at least for a little while, you know, before it starts to. Because they put caffeine in there too. So, no, you should never take that really big B12 thing if you're not if you're having a bunch of coffee and stuff or an energy drink or something like that, because you could get yourself a little bit too much caffeine going on there, and that would not be good. Who's on the crack? Hi, Ashley. It's what I say when I'm spazzy. I've been smoking the crack in the corner. I'm not actually on drugs. I'm one of the most boring people when it comes to that sort of thing. I've never. I drank a lot in high school. But for most of my adult life, I've been pretty boring. It's just a thing I say, like, when I'm not acting appropriately. Smoking the crack. B12 boosts your energy. It's supposed to increase your metabolism a little bit. It's for if you have problems with low energy or anemia. It's just a supplement you can take with your regular vitamin to help get you moving. It's supposed to be good for your mood and for your energy level. But this one that I take that's got a lot of B12 in it also has some caffeine in it. So don't take it real often because me and caffeine don't always get along. If I take too much B12, my heart gets funky. Like, I don't have heart trouble, but it makes me, like, my heart beats too fast. So I don't usually drink a lot of energy drinks and stuff. Okay, I don't need those two. But this one. There, I got some little, I almost have almost no little tiny images. So that's cool. Because I'm anemic on top of everything else that's wrong with me. So I have trouble with my energy levels. So I don't always take that big, super big one. I have just regular B12 in a bottle that you take like your vitamins that I usually take. Well, when I'm really run down, I'll pick up a pack of those and I'll have one like every 2 or 3 days just to kind of get the lead out, basically. It jump starts because it only lasts a couple hours. It doesn't last like all day or anything. But if I'm dragging ass and I need to get some stuff done, it at least gets me going. And then I just have to keep myself going, which once you're going, I can usually keep going. That's not usually the issue. It's getting my ass in gear and getting moving. That is the issue. And I've been kind of depressed lately. Like, it's not a event-specific thing. Like I said, I think I have whatever. If there's a summer version of seasonal affective disorder, I think that's probably my issue because I get like this every year. It's not like it's a all of a sudden new thing. This has been going on for years because I'm not a summer person. And my body does not like the heat at all. I have a friend who lives in the Scottsdale area still. She just loves the desert heat. She says she's never moving away from it. Like, it's just what. Good night, Curly. I'll see you another time. Thanks for coming in. So this is the last image from the little owl magazine. Are they not the cutest little owls ever? You get like that in the winter, yeah. A lot of people do. But I think that that's kind of the equivalent of what happens to me in the summer. And it's been like that for years. I do okay all winter. I don't generally get like that. I mean, I'm not super happy about Christmas. Like, I struggle with that a little bit. That has more to do with Christmas than with winter in the grand scheme of things. Oh, they are so cute. All right. And then, like, I got some background pictures out of this magazine. It was a simple living or living simple magazine. Some things I can use for backgrounds. So I got about half of what I called cut out in some fashion or sorted. So that was helpful. And then I will be on tomorrow night at 6 o'clock for Hanging in the Hollow. If you guys want to join me, I'll be working on my flippy flappy envelopey thing. I don't have the event up yet, but I will before I go to bed, whenever that may be. Because now I'm awake, but I have so much to do. I have paper to do in the garage still, and I've got tons of ironing, and I got to finish those die cuts. Yeah, a lot of people get that when it's been winter for a few months, and then, finally you kind of get to that, if you're in the northern climes, to that where there's a lot of snow and the days are so short that you barely feel like you see any daylight. I think a lot of people get that. All right, so those are processed. Just need to be filed away. Yeah. So I get it. I totally get it. All right, lovely ladies. I want to thank you for coming and spending some time with me and chatting with me. And I hope I cleared up some things about, what's going on with the paper for this month. We're now calling it Burgundy Eggplant Mashup, and we're just running with it. It's going to be mostly eggplant with a hint of burgundy is how it's playing out. And I hope that you will go along with me for this ride if you are so inclined. I will be on Monday at 6 o'clock. I will be on tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And I will make that group this evening. I'll add you guys in so that I can give you notifications whenever I'm going live, okay? However you guys are spending your days and nights, I hope it brings you great joy and happiness. Each and every one of you absolutely deserves it. Oh, that is no good. That is no good, Curly. We got to keep you in our thoughts and keep you in our circle. Until I see you in my box or in a live somewhere, I wish you the happiest of crafting. Bye, 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 ladies. I will see you soon. Love and hugs and hiss, Curly, hiss. Bye. The end. Maybe the end if it will come up.